What's up guys, it's Roger, and today I'll be teaching you how to use your blink in Trials of Osiris on Endless Vale. Welcome back to the channel, hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. I know I am, and we got Endless Vale here for our Trials map. Now, how does blink perform on Endless Vale? Well, pretty well in my opinion. You gotta understand when we don't have those roofs in our faces or whatnot, when it's just open ceilings, that's gonna be a big thing we wanna look out for. After that, we kinda like the ranges that we can use our blink in to get on top of people. For me at least, because we're shotgunning. But even if you want to blink snipe or blink fusion rifle, there are a lot of good places and a lot of good ranges that you can easily blink on top of your enemy and take them out quickly. So let's go ahead and hop into what I'm going to be using. For our primary weapon here, I'm going to be using the Outbreak Perfected Exotic Pulse Rifle. Now, this is a lightweight frame pulse rifle, and these got buffed a little while ago, and we all know that they have been doing absolutely bonkers in the meta for quite a while now. People have been loving them, and this is probably my favorite out of all the lightweight frames. I really love this thing, but I haven't used it for a little while, so when I was looking at what I want to use this weekend, it was kind of between this and the No Time to Explain. Now, I think the No Time is a better gun, and you could probably have more success with it overall, especially if you're sweating your butt off, but I wanted to go for Outbreak just because I was missing it a little bit, and it kind of ties in with how I'm trying to play this and what my strategy is on this map. Outbreak Perfected is just the perfect gun for that. Now, I'll start showing you what that strategy is once we get into the gameplay. But let's go over Outbreak a little bit. So of course, every time you get a precision kill, it's going to spawn those little nanites. When you have the catalyst here, it's going to increase the nanite damage, and then the enemies that die with nanites attached to them generate additional nanites. So if you get that catalyst, you're just getting nanites everywhere. You also have parasitism, so this weapon does more damage to enemies based on the number of nanites that attach to them. So basically, you're just getting those nanites out there, smacking people apart, and people stack up a lot on this map. If you actually look at people while they play this map, especially when you go towards mid in the beginning, people love to sit on top of each other. So if you can get that first kill, you can really start to chain stuff with these nanites. Now pairing with that, I went with my baby right here. This is the Retro Futurist lightweight frame shotgun, and this is my favorite shotgun in the entire game. It's not necessarily the best, but it has the combination of quick draw and snapshot sights. Add on top of that, small bore, and accurize, which is probably my favorite combination overall to have on a shotgun. Now there is a salt mag here, but I personally don't put a salt mag onto my lightweight frame shotguns just because they already shoot so fast, and I'm not going to lose 10 range just to get a little bit more of a rate of fire. Now of course, quick draw and snapshot are a perfect 1-2 combo. Quick draw is going to let you take that shotgun out at lightning speeds, and snapshot's going to let you aim down sights at lightning speeds. And we're not exactly Thor over here, but you can zap them with that lightning pretty good when you get this combo going. I put a little freehand grip on there just in case we need to do those hip fire shots. It'll get some better accuracy, but you should always be looking to aim down sights if you can before you take that shot. If I had a range masterwork on here, it would be absolutely perfect, but unfortunately I do have a handling, but hey, not the worst thing in the world, we'll take it. I do have a half-truth eager-edged sword on, but I don't think I used it a single time today. I don't usually go for heavy, but if I have to get it, then I'm okay with that. Let's go over here and take a peek at our mods. So on the head here, I have pulse rifle targeting. Each of these only cost 1 energy because it does come from the seasonal artifact right now, so make sure you're slapping those on. Taking charge, so that if we can get those overlights, we can get charged with light. On our gauntlets here, we're going to have pulse rifle loader and a pulse rifle dexterity, just so we can pull that pulse rifle out real quick and reload it a little quicker. And then on our chest armor here, we have double unflinching pulse rifles. Now you might want to slap an unflinching onto your shotgun. I have been noticing a lot more flinch lately on my shotguns, and it's beginning to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Although I don't really want to get rid of any of my unflinchings for my main primary gun, just to use them on my shotgun, so for now I still am going for double pulse rifle unflinching. On my boots down here, just have a lot of stat type stuff, but then I do have a shotgun holster, just so we can get that shotgun loaded while it's not equipped. And then finishing it off on our Warlock Bond down here, we have high energy fire, so we get that bonus damage when we can get charged with light. And then 2 utility kickstarts when we completely drain the energy on our class ability, which is our Rift of course. That's going to come back for us even quicker, so we can always have our Rift and always have clearance. Speaking of clearance, why don't we go ahead and break down our Void 3.0. So this time around we don't have freelance trials, but we also don't have capture point trials. Now when we don't have capture point, that means that there's not as many bubbles and well of radiance, but of course as the fastest charging supers in the entire game, there is still quite a bit of them, which is why I opt myself for a Nova Bomb Vortex, just so I can shut down those supers as well as I can. Now, you can go Nova Warp, but it does take a really long time to charge, and honestly a little too long in my opinion, where in most games, if it's over before 6 or 7 rounds, then you probably won't even get your Nova Warp. On top of that, this meta, Nova Warp is having a lot of trouble even being viable. A lot of people are sitting back with pulse rifles, scout rifles, and sniper rifles, which when they do that and they sit back and they team shot, can easily shut down a Nova Warp. So in my opinion, you just really don't want to run this. On top of the fact that Nova Warp has the lowest damage reduction for any roaming super in the game, and in fact, Nova Warp has the same amount of damage reduction as you get when you're charging up a Nova Bomb, which is absolutely insane when you think about it, and it just makes this a really, unfortunately bad super in this current meta, With your blink movement, it can still be absolutely amazing, of course, but I think it's better in 6s, so I really just don't use it in 3s right now. We have Healing Rift, Blink of course, Pocket Singularity, and then I have Scatter Nades on. Now I don't have any kind of overcharge or anything, but I am using Scatter Nades, and you'll see when I go in and show you my strategy in the gameplay why I'm using these. Scatter Nades are great for blowing up your enemies at a range, or close if you have to, but especially at a range, once you learn how to throw and arc your Scatter Nades correctly, you can instantly just wipe somebody out. If you add some bullets in there, you're very easily going to smack somebody very quickly. And what we combine with this is going to make these even better, but we'll get to that in just 1 second. Now for our aspects here, we have Feed the Void so we can get Devour, and then Child of the Old Gods, or as we know them around here, Clarence. These two are going to give us 4 fragment slots, which we love to have. Child of the Old Gods, or Clarence as we like to call him, has so much lockdown potential. When you can get him out and get him onto people, you can really lock down areas of the map perfectly, slow them a little bit, weaken them, and when you can get on top of them, usually once I get my Clarence on them, I like to rush them down with my shotgun, you can take them out easily and really enable yourselves to get free wins. Coming down to our fragments here, we have Echo of Dilation. While crouched, you sneak faster and get enhanced radar resolution. That enhanced radar is something any good player really needs to be taking advantage of. You really need to use that while you're crouched and really see if you can depict exactly where your enemies are, and that really helps you know when you want to get aggressive, especially if you're like me and you like to use a highly aggressive blink shotgun playstyle. This does also give us plus 10 mobility and plus 10 intellect, so you can't go wrong with those raw stats. After that we have Echo of Persistence. Void buffs applied to you, Invisibility, Overshield, and Devour have increased duration. I know for the Overshield and for Devour that makes them go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds. I'm not quite sure what the duration increase is on Invisibility, because I think Invisibility might be a lower duration than Devour and Overshield, but sorry, I do not know the exact numbers on that, but for your Devour specifically, it will make it go from 10 seconds to 15 seconds with this Echo of Persistence on, and those 5 seconds is quite a lot of extra time to have Devour when you really think about it. 5 seconds is a lot of time to make something happen in a game like Destiny where every microsecond can really be the difference between life and death. This is going to make you lose 10 recovery, and we want to make sure we're staying at 100 recovery, especially on a Warlock where that is our class ability, so make sure you can keep yourself at 100. Now here we have Echo of Instability. These next two fragments are going to be things that help us with these Scatter Nades. So starting with Echo Instability. Defeating targets with grenades grants volatile rounds to your void weapons. That gives us plus 10 strength, so we can't go wrong there. Now, if you can kill somebody with your grenade, which is very easy to do with a scatter grenade, and the way I play and the strategy I'm going to show you, you end up doing it a lot right at the beginning of a round, often within the first 10 to 15 seconds. And once you can do that, you get volatile rounds into your gun. Now, when you can kill somebody with volatile rounds, you can blow them up, they can do a little damage to the people around them, and then the nanites come out because you killed them with your Outbreak Perfected, and it's just a beautiful combination to try and get. Now, you're not going to do this very often, so you can go for something like weakened nades if you would like to, and I decided that I didn't want to go for that just because I didn't want to bring my discipline down too much, but if you can make it happen to still have good discipline and use weakened nades, I would recommend using that over Echo of Instability. Now finishing this off, we have Echo of Expulsion. Void ability final blows cause targets to explode. Plus 10 intellect, of course, is very nice to see. This is really going to be helpful when it comes to your scatter nades and your pocket singularity. I believe that can proc off of Clarence as well, so that's nice to have, but you're mostly going to see it happening off of these two abilities. Now, like I was saying earlier, people do like to stack up a lot, especially in the middle of the map. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 enemy snipers on the enemy team, or pulse rifle users, scout rifle users, because those are the most used weapons in the game right now. And when you see those people peeking down mid, you can easily get a scatter nade on them and just blow them up. The Echo of Expulsion does its job. They just blow up again, and you're really just wiping out 2 to 3 people very often, and it's a very nice way to just get those quick wins in those rounds and keep moving on and really keep the enemies on their toes. So I think we have everything covered with the build here. If you have any questions, go ahead, leave those down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them for you, or if you want to join the Blinkville Discord server and make some Blink Warlock friends and ask me any questions there, I would be happy to answer them. That's always linked in the description. Before we go, I'd like to mention just a couple of things. If you'd like to join the clan, we'd love to have you with Blink Enthusiast. It's set to open, so you can just go ahead and join if you would like to. We're at 37 members and climbing very fast, so get in and get yourself a spot before we fill up. And last but not least, we are on the road to 10k subs, so at any point in the video, if you'd like to subscribe, I'd very much appreciate it. But if you just want to watch and enjoy the video, that's fine with me too. All that being said, I think we are ready to get into this gameplay breakdown, so why don't we go ahead and hop into it. So my most commonly used strategy is to blink forward twice out of base. That's going to get you to mid before anybody else can get there because of how fast our blink is. You throw your scatter nade down lane, and that's going to do some pretty good damage to the enemies that might be sniping or using their pulse rifles down lane as well. And then you're going to start taking shots with your primary. Now a lot of times this can result in some easy free kills, and with your expulsion fragment, that might blow them up with a grenade and then do some more damage to anybody around them with the explosion, or you might be able to kill them with your Outbreak Perfected. If you can do that, you can get some parasites, some nanites out there, and then just really get a lot of crowd control with that. Not to mention, if you have Clarence, he'll go down there too, and you can get even more crowd control. So you can see right here, again, throw out that nade, it's going to cut them off a little bit. Now you'll see later on I get some better nades, where I actually get them straight into that pocket of where the enemies will push up, and it just immediately blows them up, and you can easily get 2 kills right off the bat, if not 3 if they really group up, but most of the time your enemy's not going to group up with all 3 of them. You can see me blinking right through over those trees right there. That's one of my favorite blinks in the entire game, and if you actually watch my video about my sneaky blink spots, one of my favorite little sneaky blinks that you can do. Now I took out those 2 guys, got some good shotgun plays there, fly in, get this last guy, and you can blink right through there where I blink onto that guy. I will say be careful, I'm going to show you later on something called blank blinks on this map. Now a blank blink is essentially hard to explain, but there's some places in every single map where if you try to blink, you just hit your head on a little bit of an invisible roof, and then you just immediately hit back down to the ground. It doesn't do damage to you. It's not like a blink pop-up slam where you hit an angle and it throws you back down really hard. It just essentially doesn't let you go up at all. You just go straight back to the ground and you don't get any height, and it can really screw you over, and I'll show you that later on whenever the clip comes up, but just be aware that there are parts in this map that do that to you. Now again, you can see sliding in the middle here. If I don't have my grenade up, like this round I did not have my grenade up, I usually go to these cubbies. You can slide into cubby, put your rift down, grab Clarence, and you're just looking for the enemies. I see the enemies here, I do some good damage, I reload really quick, Clarence is out there, and this is where I usually get aggressive with my shotgun. Once I see Clarence gets out there, that's when I go in with my shotgun. I follow the damage numbers coming off of Clarence, and if you see where they are with the damage numbers, you're going to know exactly where they are. You won't even need your radar, and then you just land on them directly with your shotgun and take them out. That right there is a perfect example of what we're trying to do right off the rip with our nade. Now after you get that pick becomes the most important decision you have to make. So I can either sit here and hold my range and watch that pick from a range, and as soon as they res him, we can just farm him again. Or I can do what I did right there, where I decided the best option for me was to go aggressive with my shotgun and take him out. You can see I took that last one out, and then I had to go on this last guy. Now he had a fusion rifle, so I had to find the best way that I could to get up onto this guy and take him out. Now we were 5 rounds into the game by this point, so I knew his patterns quite well at that point, and I was pretty sure that if I blinked above him a little bit, I would be able to take him out. Now that can be risky, so make sure you're being careful when you do that, because if you're right above somebody, they could just smack you, so be careful. Now you can see here, this is another start that I do. I didn't have my rift or my grenade, so I went all the way around towards toilet and went all the way around. You can blink twice and get pretty far into the shrine, I believe it's called there. Temple is actually what I think the call out is. And then what you want to do is crouch before you get onto your enemy's radars. Now you're going to be crouched so you won't pop up on your enemy's radars, but you also have your Echo of Dilation coming into effect for you. When you use your Echo of Dilation from the toilet bowl down there, you can exactly see where your enemies are and really see 1, 2, or even all 3 of your enemies. And what I like to do is, as soon as I see probably 1 or 2 radar pings and where they are, right, either to the right or the left, that's when I blink out a toilet bowl straight onto them and get a free kill most of the time with my shotgun. Now you can see that guy started casting right there, so I just threw my Nova Bomb in there, blink forward on this guy, and absolutely smack his booty cheeks into the ground. You gotta be careful when you're throwing your Nova Bomb. They can get stuck on a lot of places, so make sure when you actually throw your Nova Bomb that you're going to throw it at a spot that will not catch anything and will hit the enemy. Now again, you can see right there, absolutely smacked that guy and managed to kill him with my Outbreak Perfected. That spawned some nanites, which just let me smack the last guy, and Clarence did good there. So I had to go over to Clarence and say, good job, buddy. Give him a little head shake, a little handshake, you know. He really helped me out there, secured that kill, so gotta show your Clarence some respect when he starts giving you some good stuff. Now this is funny. This is actually a hacker that I got in one of my matches. You can see there, yeah, he really killed me with that Jotun, right? It makes sense when he didn't shoot it and then he teleports to the other side of the map. You can see me and my teammates in the chat there kind of just roasting this guy, because we're just like, what a fucking loser. And he comes down here, so he's dead, right? I blink up towards the mid, and you can see on the top of the screen, like, it wasn't even showing that he's actually dead. And then he just shoots an arrow from the fucking afterlife. I guess he was the greatest warrior of all time. He ended up in Valhalla, and Odin himself just granted him the ability to shoot an unholy arrow straight into my asshole, and he was just allowed to kill me from beyond the grave. So, you know, that really makes sense to me. And apparently when you just become so good at the game, you can just shoot a few thousand, you know, Jotun shots out of your Jotun that can manage to go through walls and smack Roger right up into his rectum and take him out a few times. So I guess it's just a skill issue, and I really need to work how to get better, but moving on, you can see here, I'm just waiting right here, trying to take some shots at this guy, but then my teammate decided he wanted to erect the Berlin Wall straight into my face, and while I don't exactly hate that idea, I didn't quite get to kill that guy. But you can see even later on, if someone's peeking mid, you can throw that perfect scatter nade, take them out, and then I push forward. Now I did whiff his shotgun shot there, but luckily I was able to just punch him in the face, take him out. I blinked into the wall like that because I was assuming the enemy was going to keep pushing forward into that back hallway, and then I would come up behind him and take him out. Now again, that's one of my favorite sneaky blink spots, excuse me, trying to get my words out there, but they get mumbled sometimes. But you take that little sneaky blink spot right over those 2 logs, you can take them on easily. Now you can see there, those nanites can really do some damage. I think that guy was missing his shields only, and that basically took out his entire health bar just with the nanites, especially once you have that catalyst, it can do some good damage. Now you can see right there, sometimes you're going to screw up with the grenade. If you don't get a kill right off the bat with the grenade, don't freak out, you can kind of readjust yourself. You can see here my teammate got a good pick, I kind of fell back, came back in, took some good shots, took him out, and was looking for the last one. Before I even pushed forward, my teammates did really good and took the enemy out over here towards the right side of the map. But if you, again, you know, right there, the nade didn't do much for me. It's not over though. You can calm down, put your rift down, grab clearance, and readjust yourself. Refocus, see what you want to do. I decided to blink in here, took out the one on the right. That's going to proc my devour. Now, many times, as I like to tell you, it's okay if your initial shotgun shot doesn't kill, and that's part of the reason why I really do love lightweight frame shotguns so much. People don't like them because they don't one-shot kill a lot, and that is true, but it's kind of a good thing sometimes. If you have your charged melee up, you can shoot somebody easily with a lightweight frame shotgun and proc your devour off the kill from the melee, and then that allows you to go on easier kill streaks of 2, 3, 4, you know. If you're in 6s, obviously it's going to be more, but or 2 or 3 when you're in these 3s. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with killing with your melee, and in fact it might be beneficial for you. I smacked that guy there. You can see he was invisible and I almost didn't see him until the last second, but I was able to take him out, flew over to the side with my blink and then took out that last guy. Now here again, I come through right there. You see when I entered that part of the cave right there, I pulled my head down a little bit. Make sure when you blink over that cube at the entrance to cave, you pull your head down or you might bump your noggin. Now I go in here, like I was saying, I read my dilation radar there. I saw they were around, and actually right there, that's a blink. So if you want to rewind the video, you can see right there, the only reason I died to that guy, and you actually saw he turned around because he thought I was going to be behind him, and I thought I was going to be behind him too. But I hit a blink, and essentially I didn't go up at all when I blinked, and it kind of just screwed me over. Now again here, I'm reading my dilation radar. Look up to the top left. I saw one ping, and so that's when I decided to go. When I saw that one ping, I knew he was alone, and that was the most optimal time that I could push the enemy. When you see 2 or 3 pings, it's going to be more risky to go, of course, because you're going to have to navigate yourself around all of the enemies. But once I saw that it was one ping on my radar, that was the most optimal time for me to take my blink out of toilet bowl and go right at him. Coming into another play here, again, that right there is almost the optimal, just perfect scenario. 2 kills from your nade there is absolutely perfect. And you can see on the left side of the screen there, I had my volatile rounds. Now those volatile rounds don't last long. It's anywhere from like, oh gosh, I think it's around like 7 to 10 seconds. So you don't really have that long to use the volatile rounds. So keep that in mind. And you can see right here, people will adjust to your play. The first round, I used my nade on that guy, so he knew this round to put his Titan shield down there. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that he shouldn't walk through it like some kind of freak of nature, or I will just smack his booty cheeks, and that's what happened there. I went forward aggressively. Once I get one pick in mid, if I still see more in mid, I like to go aggressive with my shotgun. Now, I usually like to do that by getting Clarence out first and following his ticks of damage, but if I can't do that, I will just take the risky play and go with my shotgun, especially in this weekend where there's no freelance, and I kind of need to do what I can for my teammates. I just like to go aggressive because if I'm going to get the wins, I kind of need to just play aggressive. Right there, I wanted to show you guys, always reminding you, you do have plus 30 airborne effectiveness stat on from your Astrocyte Verse. So don't be afraid to take those in-air fights when you have to, because just off of your Astrocyte Verse, you get quite a lot of in-air accuracy. You can see there, I did not get a blink there, but what I did was just bumped my noggin into the roof on purpose from a quick blink, just so I could get to the ground really fast. You gotta understand, when people see a blink happen, their main reaction is usually going to be to look up behind them, look up in the sky, but when you don't go up at all, you get no verticality from your blink, and you immediately land right back on the ground in front of them, that can be very good for you and confuse them enough that you can just take them out easily when you land at their feet and immediately shotgun blast them. You see I got that first pick there, so I flew in, my teammate did good damage, I took that one out, and I actually kind of misplayed there. I should have known this guy was charging his fusion rifle based off the noise and not rushed him, but luckily the rush did work out for me, so we were able to tear them up there pretty well. Now you can see again, I don't have any abilities, so if you don't have any abilities, feel free to just do your flanks. I come in here, I smack one, immediately flick over and smack the other one, and in case you're wondering, yes, my teammates did in fact throw that round and lost it because hey, that's just how it be sometimes. But hey, you can throw your nade down the lane there and you can see, again, it's not always going to work. You need to practice, get better with your nade, and really learn the right sweet pocket that you can throw that nade in and really be successful with it. Now I'm watching my radar here, but I saw there was one on my left and there was one on my right. So I didn't exactly want to push until I took a second, readjusted, and then I went in on the right guy, took him out, saw this guy on my radar really close to me, so I got ready to shoot him right when he came around the corner, and went forward on the last guy because I saw him on my radar towards the left. Now he took both my teammates out, so I blinked forward and was just trying to get onto him. Now I knew I could hide in the corner to avoid his nade, flew in, and with my snapshot sights was able to aim down sights really quickly, get a nice shot on him, and finish him off with a melee. I did a lot of aggressive shotgun plays this weekend, as you can see right here. Sometimes I just didn't really want to waste the time being patient when I could fly into cubby like that and take out two perfectly. Now I still have clearance, I can get him out, and my teammates and me can just tear it up. There wasn't much more that happened that round, which is why I skipped through it, but don't be afraid to just get some aggressive shotgun plays. You can see my teammates even using a glaive here. If you like blink glaive plays, I would highly recommend using them this weekend to just get aggressive and get on top of your enemies, because you could use a blink glaive instead of a shotgun like I have, and do the same exact strategy, and I'm sure that could work out for you very well. Now I absolutely fragged that guy. You can see with a nice Nova Bomb there, shut him down, but unfortunately he put a few daggers up my butthole, and you know, those didn't sit too well in my colon, so unfortunately we lost that round. Now this guy dropped down, and I really wasn't expecting him to take the shot as fast as he did when he dropped, so that caught me off guard a little bit. I just held down fire here because I knew if I could kill one, then I could start going off. So I took him out, came up behind this guy, threw out my melee to him because I thought he was going to push, but he didn't. Blinked myself into the roof, came back down on him, and was able to take him out. Now that did not proc my Devour, but I have 100 recuv, so I started healing really fast, but luckily my teammate came in and said, "Hey Roger, you've been doing a lot of the carrying, I'll help you out a little bit," and I was like, "I really appreciate that, Billy." So you can see here, boom, smack it down lane, get those big damage. The nanites you can see there actually go off pretty well. Take out a second one, reload again. You gotta remember, you get that outlaw proc on your Outbreak Perfected every time you get a kill, a precision kill that is, and you make sure you use that because that outlaw reload is gonna be insanely fast and it lets you just go to the next guy real quick. You can see right there again, take both of them out. Now the nanites are gonna sit on that res and just take them out. I saw the glint of red from that guy, which means that he was sniping, so I knew I needed to blink on top of him really quick. If I see somebody with a sniper, then that means their special weapon is not going to be at close range, and oftentimes when they have a sniper, they just lack close range altogether. So when I see a sniper like that, I like to get on top of them really quick with my shotgun. I saw the Axiom Bolt chasing my teammate there. Make sure you're taking that out for your teammates, and while I wanted to get aggressive, I kind of just went for it. I hit this guy really hard, and you can see right there, the second guy died to our expulsion. So we hit him, his teammate died to our explosion from our pocket singularity, and then our echo of expulsion went off and blew up again, and then actually killed his teammate. So a lot of times you can get pretty good plays from that echo of expulsion and do some extra damage and take out those enemies. Now I was kind of stuck here. I was hemmed in and these guys started rushing me, so I took out one, blinked up really quickly, was able to fall on this guy and beat his butt cheeks, and he bagged me the round before, so I took my sweet little nutsticles, shoved him in his face, and really grinded him around for a while. Now you can see here I had a really good scatter nade there, picked up one, I had the volatile rounds, and I kind of pushed forward just trying to use them, but my teammate was just fragging out with that glaive right there, and we tore them the heck up. Now again, you don't have to use my exact strategy and my exact loadout, but I would highly recommend if you took one thing as a lesson for what I'm doing this weekend, is take the scatter nade strategy and use it. You with your blink are going to be faster than any other movement ability in the game, so what you want to do is get to mid fast, take that scatter nade, and a lot of times that can help you secure very easy rounds. So if I can recommend one thing to you from the strategy I've shown you today, it is that scatter nade play. Take that, put it into your play. If you're sniping, if you're using a glaive, if you're going in with an SMG, whatever it may be, use this strategy. With that though, this is our last play, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and just thank you so much as always. This is probably my favorite video I get to make every weekend, just going over my strategy with you guys, and I'd love to know your strategies as well. So tell me, what are you doing this weekend? Leave me a comment and let me know that. If you'd like to leave me a like on the video, I'd really appreciate it. It helps out more than you can know, and it just tells the YouTube, hey, I'm enjoying this, and other people might as well. If you want to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can see more in the future, I really appreciate that too. But I think that is it for me today. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day, Guardians.